I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Why is this always so hard? Why do I do this? Necklace. Well, good morning. Welcome to the Split Seed, where the moment is right now. My name is Jenny and I am here today for another Thrift With Me video, and this time it is a small town road trip edition. So if you didn't know, I live in Montana and today I'm going to be driving to 3 different small towns, all within about 30 minutes to an hour away from me, to visit the small town thrift shops. And that is one of my biggest thrifting tips that I can give people, is to look in small town thrift stores for things. I have come across some of my best finds in small town thrift stores, and usually they are really good locations to thrift at. Every once in a while you will find a small town thrift store that is just not very good, but for the most part they are full of hidden gems. So I'm hoping that's the case today. I'm actually at my first stop, which is the Anaconda Thrift Center here in Anaconda, Montana, and I am ready to go in and see what we can find. Here we are walking up to the Anaconda Thrift Center. They were having a summer bag sale, so I was automatically excited about that. And right when I opened the door, I legitimately couldn't believe how big this place was. Right away, I found some weird stuff, and then I was just sifting through clothes. There was actually a good mix of cool vintage stuff and then also more modern, fast fashion-y pieces. But I thought this was pretty cool. And then, I found this. It was a surprise skirt, but then I was disappointed it wasn't my size, so I put it back. Same thing with these really cool light green overalls. They were not my size either, but I liked them. And then I found this that you may be seeing again. I really liked these chunky dad sandals from the brand Caterpillar. I would have totally got these, but they unfortunately were too big. And then I also found these really cool Chaco brand like hiking shoes, but they were too small, so boo. And when I tell you this place was big, it was seriously big. This is a view from the back of the store, and then you go through and there's so many more rooms full of all the homeware stuff. I spotted these from across the store and I had to come over. Look how lumpy and goopy he is. I love it, and this pot was just so pretty. Wow, that place was seriously one of the best thrift stores I've ever been to, and it's only 30 minutes away from where I live. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be going back there again, but I'm so late. I was planning to leave that place at 11 and now it's 12:30, so I have to get going to the next town like ASAP. All right, I have made it to shop number 2. I guess that's 4. So I drove about 30 minutes to the next town, which is Phillipsburg, and I am about to walk into the H&R thrift shop here. So let's go see what this place is like. So walking up to the H&R, you can see that the touristy area of Phillipsburg is just really cute. And walking into this place, I could immediately tell just how organized it was. So there were kids stuff, all the racks were labeled. I think it's all run by volunteers and they do a really good job. And then you can see just a lot of clothes to look through. And again, this was a good mix of cool older things and newer stuff. Like this shirt was a vintage shirt that was obviously very cool and funky. Kind of wish I would have got it. And then they had a lot of outer, like, winter wear, which I was really excited to see. Some places don't put out their cold weather stuff in the summer, but this place does. And then I found this, like, really cool corduroys 90s dress that wasn't in my size, but I liked it a lot. And then here's a view from the back of the store, and you can just see how big it is. They seriously had so much stuff to look through. I thought this vest was cute. It was really reminding me of like a Hobbit sort of vibe. So many shoes too. Oh my gosh. Like these really cute Y2K LEI brand clogs I liked, but they were pretty worn out and not in my size. Still cute. And then I found these blue shoes, which were also pretty cool. They were a little more twee than I like, but still neat. This lion fabric, if I could sew, I would have made something cool out of that, but I can't. And then this deer pillow was just kind of weird. It reminded me of like that old puff paint with a 3D effect. And then I just thought this was pretty. I like dried stuff. And then you go to the back and they have more stuff to look at. Like they had this macrame wall hanging with wooden beads. It was really pretty, but the thing in the middle I think is supposed to be for a plant, and that was wonky and weird. And then I wish I would have got this, but I didn't. It's very cute. Okay, I am driving
in a quarter of a mile. Turn right.
Excuse you.
Attention everyone! Run for your lives! Robots have taken over the world!
Anyway, I am just leaving Phillipsburg, and that little thrift shop was another really good one, actually, so I'm gonna have to make these little towns part of my more regular thrifting routine. I'm headed to the last town, which is Deer Lodge, Montana, and their thrift store is only open till 4 p.m. Right now it is almost 2:30 and it is an hour drive, so I'm gonna get there with not a lot of time to spare, and I might not be able to film a lot in there for that reason, but I will do my best, and I will see you when we get to Deer Lodge. And we have made it to the final location. This place is called Y2K in Deer Lodge, and it's on a really nice corner in the downtown area. And when I walked in, it wasn't quite as big as the other ones, but very clean and organized, so I liked that right away. And then, oh my gosh, this skirt was so pretty. It's a maxi skirt with ruffles on the end, and just the colors and the pattern, I thought it was so beautiful. It wasn't my size, sadly, but I wish I could have got it. And then this dress, I don't regret not getting it because I wouldn't have wore it, but just look how pretty it is. A full-length dress, it had the matching belt, very vintage, and just a really pretty color palette again. I liked it very, very much. This dress was, I think, a little Y2K piece with a sort of patchwork digital print, and I liked the red color. I thought it was pretty cute. I didn't think I would ever wear it, so I didn't get it, but I appreciated it. And then here's another Y2K dress that didn't have a brand, so I don't know where it's from, but it had this all over butterflies with a sparkly rhinestone detail. And this one was really fun. The fabric felt really good and buttery too. And then I liked this jacket with the wolf print all over it. It was the brand Blair, I think, but I have something similar with bears on it already, so I didn't buy it. Okay, well that does it for me. I made it out of the last store with 5 minutes to spare, and it's a good thing that I brought cash with me on this trip because all 3 of the stores that I went to only accept cash or check. None of them took credit cards, so that's a good thing to remember if you are going to small town thrift stores, is bring cash just in case. I'm gonna head home now and wash everything, and I will show you what I got when I get there.
The following Thursday.
Okie dokie. All right, it has been a few days. I've washed everything except for a couple pieces that need to be dry cleaned, but so let's get going with what I found at store number 1, which was So at the Anaconda thrift store, they were actually having a $5 bag sale on all their summer items. So everything that I'm about to show you, I got for $5 total. First, I just found this little simple sage green crop top. It is nothing very exciting, but I really liked the color of it, and it's just a basic piece that is nice to have. It also fits me really well, so I liked that about it too. And it didn't have a brand on it, but it feels pretty high quality material. Nothing super fancy, but not super cheap either. And then similar to that top, I just found this really simple pair of athletic shorts. The brand of these are Athletic Works. And again, they just fit me really well. They feel really nice quality, and I like the color of them. I'm a sucker for green, so basically anything that is green, I will be drawn to have it in my closet. Next, I have a couple Y2K pieces that I'm really excited about, and the first one is this little yellow top. The brand is Auto Grill. I just think this top is really cute. The entire back of the top and the bottom front panel are sheer, but then you do have nice coverage on the chest area. I also really liked this little keyhole detail in the front under the bust. I thought that was really fun. Then it also has an asymmetrical hem coming to a point on one side. Overall, I just think this shirt is really cute, and I also really like the yellow tone of it. Usually I'm not a big fan of really bright lemony yellows, but this is just a really nice orangey yellow. yellow, a little bit more of an earthy color, so I am very happy with this top. The next Y2K piece that I found is this really fun hand crocheted pink sweater. The brand of this one is Pursuits Limited, and it's in a size large, but I think maybe a children's size large, or it shrunk at some point because right now it fits more like a small probably, or maybe a medium, but definitely on the smaller end of medium. I really like the fit of the top too, just in how long the sleeves are. The sleeves come far enough down on the wrist that I don't feel like the arms are too short, and yet the body of the sweater isn't super long. I'll bring you in closer so you can see the really pretty flower pattern of the crochet and also the color variation with those deeper pinks and purples. And I usually don't gravitate towards this color of pink. I actually don't think that I have anything in my closet right now that is even close to this color, but for some reason this top is just working for me. It's clicking in my brain, I'm not sure why, and I'm just excited to play around with styling it. And the next thing I found is this black lingerie top slash dress. This piece is in really good condition. When I saw it hanging on the rack with all the pajama stuff, I just knew that I had to pick it up because it is so detailed and intricate and beautiful. It is a Claire Pettibone piece in size medium. And what I really like about it is the fact that it comes down low in both the front and the back. So this is the front, and you can see that it has this little leaf lace detail all along the bust, and then also up through the straps all the way. But then under the bust, there's this really pretty see-through crochet section for a little sexy moment. And the rosettes are just so cute. Overall, I'm really happy with the way this piece fits because oftentimes it's difficult for me to find clothing items with more of like a tailored section on the bust that fit me correctly, and this one does. So I was super happy to find it. I just think it is very cute and unique, and again, I'm excited to figure out how to wear it in a way that works for going out into the world and seeing people in public. I'm thinking maybe it would look really cool layered over a fitted t-shirt, like a baby tee, or maybe you could layer it over another dress or something like that. So I am just excited to have this in my closet. And then the last clothing item I found at the Anaconda thrift store might be one that I'm most excited for, partly because of the price, because this was also included in the $5 bag sale. And it is this 100% leather patchwork jacket. This jacket is by the brand Lane Bryant, and it's in a size 26-28. The jacket is 100% leather, and it has this really cool patchwork effect in the way that it's sewn together. So you can see that all the panels on the front and the back of the jacket are stitched together with a thicker style of string. This jacket definitely fits me a little more oversized, but I like the look and feel of that. I kind of like how slouchy and lived in it feels. I'm assuming this jacket is either pretty old or very well loved because the leather is just so pliable and worn in and not stiff at all. And I really like that kind of slouchy effect that it gives. There is a hook and eye closure included at the very top of the jacket, so if you wanted to wear it a little bit more closed at the top so that it hangs open, you could. I kind of like just leaving it open altogether, but it's nice to have the option. So all the clothing pieces I just showed you were part of the $5 bag sale. I got 6 pieces, so that means that all of them were less than $1 each. And especially that patchwork leather jacket being literally less than $1. I did also find a few home decor knick-knacky things at the Anaconda shop, so I'll show you those too. First is a handmade pottery piece that I am in love with. Handmade pottery is one of my favorite things to look for at thrift stores because oftentimes it's made by people who probably aren't professional potters. They're probably made by people who aren't professional potters, so they're always a little bit wonky, they're always a little bit off, they're a little bit weird, they're not straight. And I love that. I love it when things aren't perfect because it gives them an organic shape, it gives them a little more personality, and it's just one of my most favorite things. And on top of that, this one is a greenish shade, which, like I just said about the shorts earlier, green is literally my favorite color, so it's hard for me to pass something up if it's green. The detail of this pot is so pretty. It has these little flowery 4-leaf clover shapes on them, a little bit of an overlapping scalloped pattern too, which is really cool. It looks like the person literally went piece by piece, overlapping all of these little sections to create this texture. Then the top of the vase is this really cute flower shape. There is one little chip in the edge of it right here, but I don't mind. The bottom is signed by the artist, and this pot cost $3. I also found this little gift bag. I always like to look through the craft sections if there is one at a thrift store, because they have little just tiny things that are really cool sometimes. This gift bag just has an all over teddy bear pattern on it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it was cute and it was 50 cents. Next I found this silver heart sweater. Next I found this silver necklace with little heart-shaped beads on it. And it can be worn either long, or you can double it up and wear it shorter, which I think is the way I prefer it, just because it has a lot more texture that way. And then finally, for the Anaconda thrift store, the last little trinket that I found is admittedly super weird. And it is this very weird pig box. So it is literally a little group of pigs all sitting together. What do you call a group of pigs? A drift. A drift. It's a drift of pigs. On the back, there's a little mouse friend in the fence detail here. And then our main guy, our leader here, comes off. And you can see that this is made of wood. There's a little stamp on the inside. And then the inside is a box where you can put things. On the bottom, there's a sticker that says it was made by Harmony Kingdom in England. And again, I don't really know how I feel about this. I definitely think it's cool. My eye is drawn to it and it makes my brain flash and go like, ooh, that's unique, that's weird, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. But then if I really stop and think about it, it's kind of like, that's a little ugly, that's a little off-putting. Let's move on to all the things that I found at the second thrift store, which was H&R in Phillipsburg. The first is this little turtleneck that has a lot of brown tones. It is pretty form-fitting and stretchy, so I got it because I want to use it as a layering piece underneath a lot of things in the fall. The brand is Investments Petites, which sounds very formal, like I'm a banker or something like that, but it doesn't look like I'm a banker. I've been really into brown toned patterns lately, so I think the turtleneck on this top peeking out from underneath something will be really fun. The same with the sleeves. In general, this shirt is also just really well made. It's soft, it feels like a high quality material, and I am excited about it. And the price of this little turtleneck was $4.99. The next item is definitely a fall winter piece, but I am very excited about it, and it is this blue textured jacket. The brand is Cold Air Designs from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, so it is made in USA and it's from a small business, which is pretty cool. The jacket is in a size medium and it is 15% wool, which is why this is one of the pieces that I plan to get dry cleaned so it doesn't get all messed up in the wash. So I'll show you a little bit closer up the texture on this jacket, and it has these really cool 3D felted wool little spots all over it. The jacket is a zip up front, and I actually really like the way that it looks when it is zipped all the way up to the top of the collar, because I feel like when you do that, it really just magnifies and accentuates the overall boxy shape of the jacket, which I really like. And then also it draws even more attention to the overall bumpy texture. Other things I really like about this piece are the wide sleeves, again, kind of giving that boxy shape. And then it does have pockets, which is always a plus because a lot of times in jackets like this, I find that there aren't pockets, and that's just a bummer. So yeah, I was really excited to find this because it is pretty unique. It's from a small business and it also is just in such good condition. And then the cost of this jacket was $10, so it was definitely a little bit more on the expensive side, at least for small town thrift stores where things are usually really cheap, but definitely worth the $10 to me. The third clothing piece I got at the H&R in Phillipsburg is another cold weather item, and it is this sweater. I actually saw the sleeve of this from across the store. It was peeking out from a rack, and I immediately had to go over there and see what it was because the colors of this just immediately made me think of fall and Halloween, and I love fall and Halloween, so I just had to have it. The brand is Sigrid Olsen Sport. It's in a size medium, and it also has a little bit of wool in it, so this is another one of my dry clean only pieces. Up close, you can see just how pretty the knit pattern of this sweater is, and also how all the colors blend together to, again, make this really perfect fall color palette. I like how all along the trim of the sweater on the collar and the cuffs of the sleeves, it's this fuzzy brown. Then it does have buttons, but I don't see button holes along the other side, so I think that the buttons might just be for accent and not actually supposed to be used. I like the way this sweater fits me. It is super cozy, not itchy at all, but really it is definitely the color palette that got me on this one. And I believe this piece was $8, so I'm super, super happy with it. Then last at the H&R, I found this really cool wooden double-decker bus toy. It's solid wood and really heavy, and I can just tell that it's handmade. The wheels do turn, so it would work as an actual rolling toy if you attached a string to the front of it, but I have a different plan for it. When I saw this, I immediately thought it would be so pretty as a home decor piece, specifically maybe used to style a bookshelf or something like that, just because of how pretty the wood itself is. And then after I brought it home, I actually had another really cool idea. You can see that in the side, these little openings are actually like little cubbies. So I thought it would be really fun to put little treasures in there. Like you go outside and find a cool rock that you want to keep, or a seashell or something like that, and you could display some of your little treasures in here. And this find is actually an example of one of my thrifting secrets, which is to always go look at the children's toy section. I would say that most of the time there isn't going to be anything good in the toy section, and it'll just probably be a lot of newer, sort of cheaper kids' toys. But every once in a while, if you look in there, there's actually really cool vintage stuff that you could find if that's your vibe. So you could find a really cool vintage handmade toy that is made out of raw materials like this one. Or again, if it's your aesthetic, there might be a really cool vintage actual toy in there that you want to display in your house. Either way, it never hurts to look, and that is really the biggest thrifting tip that I have in general is look everywhere, because you never know where you're gonna find stuff. All right, last, let's take a look at the few things that I found at my third thrift store stop, which was the New to You in Deer Lodge. Everything I got at New to You was a clothing item, and there are 5 of them. First, we have this very cool vintage cowboy t-shirt. The brand is Hazelwoods, and it is 100% cotton, size large, made in USA. This shirt is just so much fun, like you can't deny how fun it is. First of all, we have the little cowboy boot graphic on the front, and then I really love the V pattern of the fringe trim detail on the front. In general, I'm just kind of a sucker for anything fringy. It always catches my eye, and the fringe on this shirt even has a little extra special touch to it because there are beads added throughout too. There's also really fun detail on the sleeve with the cuffing effect and the rivets. The shirt also does have shoulder pads in it, which is pretty fun. I know some people are pro and some are against, and I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to keep them in this one or not. Just the fact that there are so many fun details in what would otherwise be a very simple cotton t-shirt, I think is very fun. All the other times I see details like this in a top, it's usually with a dressier, sort of blousier looking top, and I really like the fact that in this one, it's all done within a t-shirt style. This top was $5, and I am happy with the find. Next, I got this very cool vintage Notre Dame crew neck sweatshirt. This crew neck is in such good condition for how vintage it is. I doubt that it was ever even really worn. The brand is Midwest Embroidery, made in South Bend, Indiana, and it does have a paper tag. So I'm not personally a big Notre Dame fan, but I just had to pick up this crew neck because of, again, and how good of condition it was. It has that perfect fit that is just the right amount of oversized, and also that vintage silhouette that you just don't see very often in new stuff anymore. I also really liked the contrasting color panels on the sides of the shirt. The last thing that really sold me on buying this shirt is the fact that it has this front kangaroo pocket. And I don't know that I've ever come across a crew neck before that has the front kangaroo pocket, but is not also a hoodie, so I thought that this was just a really cool, unique find. The crew neck was also $5, and like I said, I'm not personally a big Notre Dame fan, so this will be a piece that I definitely list for sale at some point in the future. Next, I got this menswear button-up shirt that is definitely giving a little bit of a grandpa vibe, but not in a bad way. As you may know, I love cool old vintage tags, and this shirt does not disappoint. It has the coolest 90s tag ever, and the brand is Trespass. What first drew me to this shirt is obviously just the pattern and color palette. I think that these shades of green and purple go so well together, but it's very unexpected and a color combination that I don't see very often. Then when I got closer and picked up the shirt, I could just tell that the material was so nice. And then I checked the tag, and it is in fact 100% cotton. So it has that super nice vintage worn in feel in the best way, where it's not threadbare, but it's just so comfortable. It is a men's size large and fits me pretty oversized, but I have been loving the oversized silhouette lately, especially with button-up tops, so I am very happy with this. I think styling the shirt with a pair of jeans and sneakers and then maybe adding in a cool graphic baseball hat or something would be very cool. I can also definitely see this shirt being worn over something more feminine, like a frilly dress or a slip. And again, like the previous tops from this store, the shirt was $5. Next, we have another vintage made in USA top, and it is this one here. The brand is National Wildlife Federation. It is 100% cotton, and the tag says size extra large, but I think it fits more like a medium large. Usually when I find one of these nature sort of landscape graphic shirts, they have a much more earthy background color to them, so the fact that this one is pink is super interesting. On the front, you have this nature graphic of a bighorn ram, and then the words read, "Save a place for wildlife." Then small on the upper third of the back of the shirt, you just have the actual National Wildlife Federation logo. And then also at the bottom here in the words, it actually says that this shirt was printed in 1990. Then because the shirt is 100% cotton, it again has that just really nice, soft, worn-in feel to it. And once again, this t-shirt was $5. So pretty much every clothing piece of this haul has been a top, but I saved a dress for last. It's this one here, and I honestly can't even believe that I found this. It has an amazing vintage tag from the brand Just in Time, and the dress is in a size 10. It's not cotton. The tag actually says that it's 100% rayon, but it feels so soft and light and airy when you put it on. Coming in closer to the top, you can see that it is a flat digital print with these lacy looking details, and then of course the big rose blooms. And then on the skirt, you have this all over smaller floral pattern with rosebuds. And then it has the built-in tiebacks, which are just the best thing ever because you can make it as tight or loose as you want it. I love that it's a maxi length. I really don't have very many dresses or skirts that are all the way down to my feet, so this is gonna be something that is very unique in my wardrobe. And then I also just love how super 90s it is. The look of it is very witchy, very Stevie Nicks, very whimsigoth, and it's going to be absolutely perfect for styling in the fall. Then the dress, just like all the tops from this store, was only $5. And that is everything I got during my day of shopping small town thrift stores. If you do like thrifting, secondhand fashion, thrifted interiors, and art, those are the things that I talk about here at Split Seed, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. I put out new videos every Thursday, so until next week, all hail Norm, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Bye. Bye.